Okay, so this is a video response to Canadian Prepper in his last video. I want to start off by saying I respect and agree with most of what he puts out. He makes great videos, great content. I do recommend you at least listen to what the man has to say. All right. Now, that being said, his last video was titled Food Scarcity and Food as Currency. And he did not say to use food as currency in the video. But the title would imply, or at least I believe, that many people would take that the wrong way and take it as this is a good idea to use as currency. That's what I got from it anyway. I could be wrong. I don't mean to be putting words in his mouth, but I know that's how many people would see it. Right? The video was about dehydrating food, so I imagine people would perceive, okay, I can take this dehydrated food and use it for currency. I do agree with the hedging against inflation. That's what I started out talking about. And, I believe in having emergency food. I love the idea of do-it-yourself, man. I did a do-it-yourself emergency food buckets myself video, and I went to the grocery store. I picked up items you can get at a local grocery store and replicate meals made by big companies that make emergency food with the items you find at the grocery store: Mylar bags, vacuum sealers, oxygen absorbers, food grade buckets, and I'll show you how to replicate the process yourself. So he has a great way. I prefer his way, but if you want to do it a little bit easier on the pocket, check out the video I did, and you can use stuff at the local grocery store. It is a good idea to do it yourself and have your emergency food just in case, man. And it takes little effort to reheat. That's a good idea. I agree with that idea. I do that myself. So that's a great idea. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I would strongly disagree with anyone thinking about using food, medicine, antibiotics for trade or barter. Even maybe alcohol and tobacco or ammunition, right? Because, let me get to it here. I believe that the modern entitled American, right, will act more brutal than any animal when things get tough, right? Things get rough, man. You're not going to believe what you're going to see. I believe food, when people are starving and not thinking right, will probably be the most dangerous item to trade with. Your mind will change. When someone has nothing left to lose, they will not care about consequences. They will just care about getting food in their stomach and their kid's stomach or wife or whatever the case may be. I'm going to post a link to a video called We Are 9 Meals Away from Anarchy. It goes over riots and even cannibalism that has occurred in really bad famines, right? It even goes over people eating their own kids in the video. I mean, we're talking some really bad stuff. I don't think things get that bad, but if they did, you don't want to be trading with food, I don't believe. Right? I think trying to trade with food with starving people would not work out because they're not going to take no for an answer. If they have anything to trade. I mean, maybe they have filthy shoes they want to trade you. If anything. Right? Doesn't matter if they have something to trade that you want or not. They're not going to take no for an answer because they're not thinking straight. They're not the same people, right? Antibiotics and medication. When somebody's wife or child is dying, they're not going to take no for an answer. They see that you have what their child needs to survive. You're going to give it to them, or they're going to take it, right? Someone who has nothing to lose doesn't care about consequences, right? Let's say people with chemical addictions to alcohol or tobacco, right? Suffering from withdrawals during an already immensely stressful situation. May not take no for an answer. So that's something to think about. Of course, ammunition, depending on who you trade it with, could be used against you. That's always people talk about that too. But anyway, I do believe it's a good idea to do the dehydration he does in the video. If you can't afford that, check out my video. I'll leave links to some helpful videos in the description bar. And again, he didn't actually say use food as currency. I'm just taking what I figured people would imply from the title. But I do think it's a good idea to have that stuff for yourself. And if you're going to trade it with people, barter or trade, man, it better be somebody you really know, and you know they're not going to open their mouth and talk. Because loose lips sink ships. They tell one wrong person, it gets out. I believe for currency, stuff that people, lighters and hard candies, stuff like that. I did a video, I'll leave in the description bar. Dangerous trade and barter items. I go over what you don't want to use and what you do, in my opinion. Right? Comfort goods, stuff like that. Lighters, paper plates, stuff like that, man. That people don't need to survive, because if they need it, again, they need it to survive, they got nothing to lose, that may not end up good. But if you have comfort items, which I guess the alcohol and tobacco could fall in there, you got to be careful with who you're trading with, no matter what it is, but especially careful with, if you think they might have some kind of chemical addiction or something like that. But I think comfort items would be a much better way to go as currency, as far as the dehydrating process, putting it aside for yourself and for family members and people you can really trust, people in your group. Yeah, that's a great idea. Anyway, I'm sure you're gonna watch this where we sub each other's channel, so hopefully it gets this, and I don't mean to put words in your mouth. If you're watching this, and just something to go over. I'm not sure if that's what you meant or not. I just wanted to put my 2 cents in that, because I think I've always talked about that for years. I see food is very dangerous to trade. Very, very dangerous to trade if things got that bad. Venezuela, people eating pets and eating rodents and busting into the zoo to eat the animals. We're talking, pretty bad stuff. And in my own experience in life, man, I've seen, the bad parts of humanity, and I don't have much faith in complete strangers that, entitled mentality, man. That's for sure. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. And I guess that's it. You guys have a good one. And hopefully people that were thinking about using food as currency will at least listen to what I have to say. Listen to what he says. He didn't actually say it in the video. He's showing you how to do it. But for those of you that read the title, okay, I'm going to do this, and double think that, man. Second guess it, all right? Anyway, that's it for me. I'm out.